Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories within company filings. Today we've got an interesting little amendment from Embassy Bancorp Incorporated, and it's all about how often they ask their shareholders for their opinion on executive pay. Stick around, because this apparently simple update actually gives us a peek into boardroom decisions. Before we dive in, if you appreciate getting straightforward insights from corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we dissect these filings even further. So what we have here is an amendment to a previous report. Think of it like a correction or an addition to a story that was already told. The original report filed after their annual meeting on the 18th of June talked about the shareholder vote results. This amendment, however, is specifically to tell us what Embassy Bancorp Incorporated decided to do based on that vote. It's like they released the results of a poll, and now they're revealing the action they'll take because of it. The original report was filed on the 20th of June, but it was covering events from the 18th of June, their annual shareholder meeting. Now this amendment is being filed later on the 31st of October to clarify a decision made on the 20th of June following that annual meeting. It's a bit of a timing quirk, but the substance is what matters. So the main point of this filing is about something called an advisory vote on executive compensation. This is basically when shareholders get to vote on whether they agree with how the company executives are being paid. It's called advisory because the board of directors doesn't have to follow the vote, but it's a pretty strong signal of shareholder sentiment. The shareholders voted at their June meeting, and now Embassy Bancorp Incorporated is telling us what they decided to do with that feedback. This section gets to the heart of it. The shareholders had a vote on how often they wanted to have this advisory vote on executive pay. Think of it as shareholders asking the company, do you want us to vote on your pay every year, every 2 years, or every 3 years? And the shareholders, by a majority of the votes cast, said they prefer to vote on executive pay once every 3 years. This is a pretty common outcome in many companies. Annual votes on executive pay can be time-consuming and sometimes become a bit of a perfunctory exercise. When shareholders choose to vote less frequently, it often signals they are either satisfied with the current executive compensation structure or they prefer the board to have more autonomy in making these decisions between shareholder meetings. So the board of directors met shortly after the shareholder meeting, received this feedback, and confirmed that yes, Embassy Bancorp Incorporated will indeed hold these advisory votes on executive pay every 3 years. This decision will remain in place until the next time the shareholders are asked to decide on the frequency of this vote. It's a straightforward implementation of shareholder direction. Now, let's look at this from a shareholder's perspective. On one hand, a triennial vote means less immediate pressure on the company to justify executive pay year after year to shareholders. This can allow management to focus on longer-term strategic goals without the constant distraction of a shareholder vote on compensation. It might also mean that if there are significant changes in executive pay or performance metrics, shareholders will only get a chance to voice their opinion on those changes every 3 years. On the other hand, for shareholders who are particularly focused on executive compensation as a key indicator of company governance and management alignment, this means a longer period between opportunities to express their views. It places more trust in the board of directors and their compensation committee to oversee executive pay appropriately. Given that the majority voted for this 3-year cycle, it suggests a general confidence in the company's current governance practices, or a desire for less frequent, possibly more focused. Discussions on this matter from a broader market perspective, companies often make this kind of decision following shareholder votes for efficiency and to streamline the annual shareholder meeting agenda. It does not necessarily signal anything wildly positive or negative about the company's performance itself, but rather about its corporate governance preferences and its relationship with its shareholders on this specific issue. Without seeing the actual financial tables from the original report or other filings, it's hard to connect this governance decision directly to financial health, but it does indicate a certain level of shareholder engagement and established processes within Embassy Bancorp Incorporated. Ultimately, Embassy Bancorp Incorporated is following the direction set by its shareholders. The voting results showed a preference for less frequent advisory votes on executive compensation, and the board has acted on that preference. This moved towards a 3-year cycle suggests a level of governance maturity and a management team that is responsive to shareholder input, at least on this particular issue. Alright, that's our breakdown of this amendment from Embassy Bancorp Incorporated. What's your take on the frequency of executive pay votes? Do you think companies should have them annually or less often? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.